Welcome to Drop the Puck, and you join us for the second of our double-header, Solhull Barons, Coventry Blaze. And after a convincing victory from the Solhull Barons last week, can the Coventry Blaze claw back at least 1 point tonight?
Well, they've got to do something because Solhull just seem to be unstoppable.
We've got all the action coming up now on Drop the Puck, courtesy of our friends at 24/7 TV. We'll take you over to the rink now. Enjoy the game. It's time to drop the puck.
So the formalities are done, the anthems are out of the way, the teams cluster round the nets. It's time for hockey. The Solhull Barons away to our right in their away kit, the Coventry Blaze home playing in white. And we're looking for the type of game here where we expect to see lots of goals, Chris.
Yes, we are definitely expecting to see, as they say, a gong show this evening here in Coventry. The Solhull Barons, who currently have a goal difference of 282 for and 64 against, one of the shrewdest defences in the league.
And we see them settle as the Solhull Barons break away. The referees, incidentally, Mr. Gillingham is the man in charge. And he may have a bit of a job. We've already mentioned tonight that local derbies tend to get a little bit feisty, and Coventry v Solhull is no exception.
Local derbies, it doesn't matter what's at stake, it doesn't matter what level you're at. The local derby is always tasty, and it's always a bit chippy.
The Solhull Barons look like they're putting out their big guns first of all, Joe Henry and Josh Bruce, along with Perry Doyle looming on the blue line there.
Perry Doyle,
a
very imposing physical presence on the blue line. A man who, as I read in an article this week, makes any forward look up.
And the first shot is from the Coventry Blaze. It's saved there by Sam Hewitt in the net. That's Philip Mulcahy trying to work his way through to get a shot off early on. Positive start.
Positive start, very good energy from the NIHL Blaze, getting the first shot of the game in.
Here is Perry Doyle though. The Barons will attempt to work their way out to the ice with those lovely Magic Eye jerseys that were commentators' nightmare. Working their way round the back of the net. Eventually, puck will be played cross ice, and here goes Joe Henry. Throws a shot high and wide, and it'll be a face-off in the zone.
Such a lovely, beautiful, easy move from one end of the ice to the other. Nice little outlet pass from behind the Barons' red line.
You can see that this game starting quietly. Solhull just settling themselves into the game. They know that a win tonight will get them title glory, but they also know they've got plenty of time to get a goal. And here is Joe Henry. Reverse pass to Josh Bruce. Played it out in front. Puck working around, can't get a shot away. Now fired, and that will be blocked in front. Luke Smith will battle along the boards. And it will eventually be cleared. The Barons working away. They bring one off the iron early on.
They're zoning in, they're getting closer.
These are all warning shots. The first shots in a very long, very physical battle. Puck finally breaks his own. Here is Perry Doyle, just calms things down a little. Experienced veteran. We could probably spend a whole broadcast just telling stories about him. O'Flaherty, meanwhile, for the NIHL Blaze. Gets the return pass. That will travel the length of the ice without an opposition defender able to reach it, and so that'll be icing.
An interesting tactical decision that, try and ice the puck. It's trapped that Blaze line out there, and you've got a very fresh Barons line out there ready to try and capitalise on this situation.
Obviously an icing when the puck is played from one end to the other like that. The team doing so can't change their players, so they've got to try and get it clear. Meanwhile, it's fired on net, and that will be saved by Laverick. The whistle will go as the referee loses sight of the puck.
Very impressive performance so far from Laverick in the early going here.
He's being shelled early on. Already faced several shots. It's 90 seconds in, still 0-0. Face-off won this time by Coventry. Captain of the Blaze, Dale Brooklyn, will play it around the boards. Now Jack Flynn in the white helmet, unable to pull that one in, and once again,
and that was a very good attempt at a stretch pass there, just didn't come off in the neutral zone.
For those of you unfamiliar with ice hockey, basically, if the puck is fired over the opposition goal line from your own half without an opposition player able to get to it, it's called icing. And we'll move back to your own half. It's to stop just lumping the puck up the ice. Tom Saw with a poke check. He'll try and make his way into the zone. It's poked away. Jack Flynn now and again. The pass is intercepted. Now Mulcahy. Ed Eaton can't pull that one in. Dale White will instead. For Coventry. Under pressure, goes down. And the referee's arm goes up. That'll be a tripping call, I think.
Blatantly a tripping call over there in the corner. But what we saw there was one of the beautiful things of ice hockey. It's not how you do things perfectly, it's how you capitalise on somebody else's mistake. And the Barons and the Blaze doing just that. They're both capitalising on each other's mistakes in the neutral zone to gain possession.
2 minutes, 9 gone. And for the next 2 minutes, the Coventry Blaze will play with an extra man unless they score. And then Solhull will get their men back, but they've effectively got a man in the sin bin for 2 minutes. Puck is played around the boards, fed again. Now, plenty of time for Solhull to settle behind the net with Eaton. He'll fire that the length of the ice. Well, you are on the penalty kill. You can fire the puck the length of the ice without penalty.
I was just about to mention that, Paul.
For Perry Doyle. Penalty cross-checking there. I thought that one would be chipping, but it was called as cross-checking.
Blaze power play looking very disorganised here at the moment. Nobody seems to know where they should be or doing their job.
And it's under the feet of Philip Mulcahy. Eventually works its way through. Perry Doyle eases that one around the boards. Matt Maurice there putting in a check, trying to show he's not intimidated by Perry Doyle's reputation as a hard man. Doyle very much a player who is known around British hockey as someone not to tangle with. And now puck will work its way in. Here is Arthur Brooks, finds Mulcahy, will fire, it'll be saved by Hewitt and eventually work free. 30 seconds remaining on the power play, break the other way though. Henry pulls up. And Joe Henry is eventually dispossessed by Hewitt. Numbers, he's still got it though, works his way in. Tries to square. Can't find anybody at the back post. It's great play there though. You can see there Sam Hewitt having a word with his defence. Just maybe saying, get a little bit quicker onto a loose puck next time, so I don't have to make 2 saves. Now here comes Solhull. Puck is worked into the corner. Gareth O'Flaherty loses it, it's behind the net. The Barons looking menacing. And it's fired, saved by Laverick.
Just misfired the shot there, but the Barons are doing a very...
And that one was off the iron as well, from Nicholas Otterson, I think that was.
That was indeed Otterson. No, wait, no, Otterson's just coming on, so it wasn't Otterson.
We told you these jerseys were a commentator's nightmare. We can barely see the numbers and even the nameplates. Fed across though. Into the netting.
Blaze needs to be careful here. They're giving the Barons the zone back again. They're letting him get settled. They're letting him get very settled on the puck, and they're letting him move it around.
Referee unhappy there with the way the face-off was taken, so he'll take it once again. Face-off is again won by Coventry. Jack Flynn. Tom Saw under pressure. Here is Jay McFadden. Has the puck poked off his stick though, and there's space for Tom Saw to feed through the middle. Unfortunately for him, He can't find a teammate. Now, again, driven by Saw, saved by Laverick. And the Barons will come again. Simon Harrison. Once again, Tom Saw works his way through, former Nottingham Lion. Also Peterborough Phantom in the EPL. And now Luke Smith, dilly-dallying in his own zone, gets away with it though. Fires a shot that'll go wide of Sam Hewitt's net. Jack Flynn has to get to it.
Luke Smith did that in doing his shift at the moment, minus a glove.
Could be interesting if he gets an errant stick on it. Both Chris and I play ourselves, and I can tell you, when you get a rap with a stick on the glove, it hurts like anything. Here's Mackay, fed out to Dale Buckland. He'll fire a shot from the blue line. That'll be dealt with by Sam Hewitt, who then flattens a forward. Philip Mackay there.
Philip Mackay, those blockers, if you get one of those in the face, they do hurt. As Danny Myers will attest to from a few seasons ago here at the Skydome.
Meanwhile, there's a possible break on here. Laverick will play it away. Can't find Saw. Here it's Saw again though, and he'll fire and he'll ring one into the roof of the net. Tom Saw from the blue line picks up the puck and fires one high and hard at 6:49 in the Solhull Barons lead.
Tom Saw just left with all the room in the world to settle himself on the puck, line the shot up and fire it into the back of the net.
And Laverick might want that one back. Into the first period, 1-0 in favour of the Solhull Barons. They win the face-off again. Tom Saw is here on this left-hand side. He'll fire the puck across. Tries to pick up the return pass. Mulcahy again. Pokes it out the zone. Dumped back in. Now, Dale White will battle in the corner. Puck will leave the zone, which means all the Solhull players have to leave the offensive zone before the puck can go back in. Otherwise they're offside. Now they'll be on the attack again. Stephen Heap tries to keep his player wide. Poked away. Barons looking like it's just a matter of time here before they get their second. They're knocking at the door. Now Otterson. That distinctive flowing mane of hair beats Carl Bell.
And that's a holding penalty right there.
That will be Carl Bell, I think, who's called for it. So Solhull will get their first chance on the power play.
Yes, 2 minutes for holding. I guess to describe holding for our viewers at home, holding is if you impede a player by having an arm wrapped around them or physically gripping onto them in some fashion.
And now Solhull will play with the man advantage for 2 minutes. And they'll work their way through. Bruce to the back post. That's a great pass. Full length, and that is the easiest possible finish. And it'll be 2-0. Josh Bruce there at the blue line just sees the player all alone.
And that is why you always have a man on the net looking for that loose puck, the garbage in front of the net, and a nice dig for victory goal for Josh Bruce.
Josh Bruce finds Joe Henry. And we'll wait for confirmation on that goal. It is tricky with these jerseys.
That is possibly the simplest explanation I've ever heard of offside in ice hockey.
If the puck comes out to it's effectively in football the same as if the puck comes out, the ball comes out of the penalty area. Everybody has to leave it. Can only go in when the ball does. Meanwhile, that's a questionable check from Philip Mulcahy.
Very, very questionable check. And now we're going to get some afters here.
And now Jack Flynn steps in. We're getting a little bit of a Perry Doyle playing his peacemaker role there. Just cruising over and having a word.
And, well, out of all that, the Barons are going to get the penalty.
That's an interesting call from the officials there.
I mean, it's an interesting call from the referees, because certainly that was a very questionable looking hit. you could argue it was maybe just a mistimed check, but mistimed or not, you have to punish that. But brilliant example of an agitator there, drawing the penalty.
Ryan Selwood gets 2 minutes for the cross-check, which will be presumably the shove of his stick at Philip Mulcahy.
Drawing the penalty. Something those of our viewers who watch the NHL will know Brendan Gallagher does very well for the Montreal Canadiens.
Very much a skill winding up the opposition in hockey and trying to attempt them to put them off the game. Here is Mulcahy. Works his way through, tries to throw a shot on net, doesn't quite get it where he wants to go. We're coming towards the final 2 minutes, 17-14 gone of the first period. Good play from Jordan Stokes, makes his way back into his own zone. A lot of the time on the penalty kill, you'll see the team with one man less sit back and work themselves almost into a square formation so they can cover as much of the ice as possible. 2 forwards and 2 defensemen.
And usually you will see only one man go forward on the forecheck.
Have Mulcahy working his way into space though. Mulcahy will fire and it's free again for Hewitt. And a little bit of a shove from Mulcahy as well. The main aim from attacking teams is to disrupt that box, break up the positional play.
Move the puck around as quick as you can, make as much space as you can, get somebody in the middle of it to move players around. That's the aim of the game with the box. And now the Barons have another player heading to the box.
The Blaze have a 2-man advantage now. This is the kind of opportunity that teams covet. Doesn't come that often, but for 45 seconds, the Blaze will have a 2-man advantage. If they score within these 45 seconds, then one man will step out.
Some can argue, though, that the more space you have, the more difficult it becomes.
They're now in front. Space for Flatini, fires too high from point-blank range. That was a golden opportunity. Mulcahy takes a check from Eaton as well. 30 seconds remaining of this 2-man advantage, and then Solihull will have 1 man return to the ice.
No, Blaze will come back hard and fast. Mulcahy's already in.
And here is space, and Maurice scores! The Blaze are on the board, a rebound from Sam Hewitt. And Matt Maurice will snaffle up rebounds like that. That's exactly the kind of play you want. A sharp rebound and effectively a tap-in.
All that space that was created by the absence of the 4th man. It's been coming for a while now for the Blaze. They've been hammering that net and they finally get the reward that they've been seeking.
But it's all Solihull earlier in the second period.
Yep, they've got the Blaze very well penned in their own end, and the Blaze have really got to pull something out here to try and get out there. The Barons are looking very, very threatening early on here in the second.
Once again, the Barons win the face-off. Otterson uses that long reach, can't quite get the shot off though. The Barons still have the puck, led by Arthur Brooks. Barons again work their way around the zone. Here is Crow.
And you can really see the experience factor coming into play for the Barons here with just these little moves and the little passes they're making that the Blaze players just are not anticipating.
It's the calmness, if anything, that stands out with Solihull in terms of experience. They all look incredibly confident on the puck. And there's a shot saved, and that one will go into the roof of the net. It's 3-1. Graham Laverick might want that one back.
Definitely want back. It was a bobbler of a shot, just caught the edge of the glove and just flies over the top into the back of the net.
Who found space to fire the puck home. And that'll be held by Laverick. Rich Crow gets the assist, 22-15. Edward Eaton scores. And now the Barons again put one high, and that one will go into the belly of Graham Laverick. They're starting to make hay now.
Well, the Barons have got the bit between their teeth and they're chomping at it. They want another one. And Rich Slater almost getting another goal there.
Working his way out from behind the net. It'll be cleared the length of the ice though, and it'll be chased down by Gareth O'Flaherty. Barons though with Slater. Long pass pulled in. Whitehouse can't quite break free though. And again, there's space for Jordan Stokes to make a raid forward. Now O'Flaherty. Stokes is just forced into the boards though. And there's a break the other way. And again, great hands from Rich Slater, makes his way all the way in and roofs it! What a finish that was from the Solhull Barons.
That was a sick goal from Slater. Just goes around everybody and roofs it.
A solo effort for 4-1 at 3:16 of the second period. And now, all of a sudden, the Barons are starting to open up a little bit of a gap. Settling in, obviously Darren Bellaby has told them in the period break to stop being tentative, stop the calm, measured build-up play, just make sure that they impose their authority on this
And I
game.
believe that's 2 goals on 4 shots at the start of this period.
Knight gets the assist. Cleared back post, and that's 5-1. It's all too easy for the Barons now.
They are just slicing through this Blaze defence like a hot knife through butter. Josh Bruce just left totally alone in front of the net. Laverick, all at sea, couldn't do anything about it, and has just had to poke it home.
You've got to feel sorry for Laverick there, left all alone.
He's been hung out to dry by his defence, and now James Pease is going to call his time out.
He's now got 30 seconds or so to speak to his team and calm them down. They've conceded 3 goals in a minute.
And with no backup netminder to put in for Laverick, Pease has no other option but to leave him out there. In any other situation, you would probably pull Laverick at this point and put your backup in.
But Laverick will have a word. You can't blame him for anything but possibly the 3rd goal. He might want back, but the rest of them are just great play from the Barons.
Oh, certainly. Defensive positioning failures are what led to those goals. Nobody picking up their man, nobody clearing the crease.
5-1 now then. With just 3 minutes 40 gone in the second period. 3 goals in 3 minutes.
I would ask on at least 2 of those goals, where was the back-checking centre?
Meanwhile, Yannick now works his way through. Good save, Laverick. He's still fighting with a Baron on the doorstep there.
And the Barons making sure that the record here does not change.
Still coming forward. And there's space at the back post if they can find Crow. Selward will shoot, and it'll be saved again. Laverick throwing himself around.
Selwood's a defenseman. It just shows the level of confidence that the Baron players have with Perry Doyle now on the doorstep.
And Doyle will jam that one home.
And that's a dig for victory goal from Perry Doyle.
Doyle gets 3 or 4 attempts. Just persists away, digs away, as you say, digging for victory. If you take more than 35, 40 shots as a goalie, you're considered to have had a busy game.
It's called the Randy Carlisle method.
It is indeed the let someone else shoot at your goalie as much as possible. You don't want to do it. Some goalies have to face it. I'd say Laverick's probably faced a good 20 shots already. Shots in hockey counted by shots that would have gone in had the goalie not stopped them. So we're not counting shots wide, block shots.
Do we count the crossbar?
We do. You do count crossbar, I think. Saved again, meanwhile.
I mean, we've laid blame at the feet of the defence, but we also Laverick really has to work on controlling the puck.
He is giving up a lot of rebounds.
He's just there. We saw it. It just slips out of his glove. That bobbler of a goal that went over the top of his glove. His rebound control of his pads hasn't been that good. It's been directing pucks straight on to Baron sticks.
And that's a great pass, and that is 7-1. Pass through the legs from David Rogers. And that's jammed home. I think, was that Rich Slater again? Very possibly, we'll have to wait
Very
for the...
possibly have to see the replay, but again, failure to clear your own end. Failure to clear up the garbage in front of the net. And a Barons player always there to capitalise on it. That loss of that extra man is not impeding them, but then you do see in hockey sometimes teams thrive under the PK.
Meanwhile, Luke Smith tries to land a check. And now, Carl Bell can't make the pass, fans on the puck. Meanwhile, the Barons are back to 5 skaters. The odd hit going in now, but here come the Barons again. Shot saved by Laverick. Puck squirts free.
And that there was a classic example of why it's sometimes better to play the puck and not play the hit. Yeah, you take the player out of the play, but you also free the puck up for another player to come in on the overlap.
It's given away by Stephen Heap, meanwhile. Sloppily shot wide. And that could have been very costly indeed for Stephen Heap.
There, another player who we're very familiar with from our years of watching Coventry NHL Blaze, Jake Larkin.
Jake Larkin lurking in front of the net. And just walks out in front, tries to jam one in, and it'll squirm through. And the goal is given eventually. There was a pause of a second there. Jake Larkin standing in front of the Baron, just allowed to work his way out from behind the net.
Again, not clearing the crease. And that's what happens. Puck swarms through. And another dig for victory goal.
Graham Laverick over there, looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. That they play as well with 4 players, as a lot of teams do with 5. Stumped in now. And again. Worked around, thrown on net, padded away by Laverick.
And that is not something you see every day on the penalty kill, a point shot.
When it gets to that point, you can see that point shots usually only take place when you're set up in the zone and can work the puck back to the blue line to throw it on net. If you've got the time to fire one of those on the penalty kill, something's wrong, and that one's fired into the roof of the net.
And that was Yannick.
He just cruises through the zone.
That was just a screamer.
Well, Graham Laverick still looking for that one. I think we heard the sonic boom as that flew by him.
That one's still going all the way up the A45.
I think that would have come down somewhere in Solhull, that one. It's still rising. And Yannick, short-handed goal. Well, we've been singing Solhull praises.
In my opinion, the best way to kill a penalty is to score a goal on the penalty kill.
Some teams find it hard enough to...
If there was any momentum and morale left in the Blaze team, that would just kill it.
We've seen Coventry teams this season, both at Elite League level and partly at NHL, find it hard enough to score with 5. Solly will make it look easy with 4 men. Dale Buckland now.
Well, we saw last night in the NHL, the Calgary Flames score 3 shorthanders.
They're very rare, shorthanders. You usually only get teams score 8 or 9 of them a season or so at the top level. Meanwhile, there's an argument over in the corner.
And it's going to be a Blaze penalty.
Whistle goes. Delayed penalty there. Play carries on until the Blaze player touches the puck.
I was just like to point that out for those at home watching. If you haven't figured out how we know who the penalty is against, it's usually the team that has the puck will be the team that gets called.
Smith will get the penalty for holding, impeding the progress of the Solhull player. So now Solhull, who've just scored with a man down, get to play with an extra man. So let's see what they can do. 14:21 gone in the second period, 34 gone in the game. Phil Knight will fire one. That's tipped by a Blaze player into the mask of Graham Laverick there.
And that, I think Laverick would definitely have had words for his defence if that one had pinged in off a deflection. It's a skill. It's a skill deflecting the puck in on a slap shot like that. But you want to do it at the other end of the ice, boys.
Play always stops when play hits a goal is must. And now we're now at the point where Solhull fans can ironically jeer their players when they miss chances. Such is the lead for the Barons, 9-1. With roughly 5 minutes remaining in this second period. And there goes Selwood, oh my! And you heard the ring from up here as that went bar down. And that one was simply unstoppable there from Ryan Selwood.
End to end. I don't believe that was Ryan Selwood. I believe that was Crow. I believe that was Richard Crow.
I apologise to Richard Crow. It's these jerseys. We'll wait for confirmation on that one.
End to end. No, but everybody backing off from him for some reason and fires it under Laverick. And we heard audibly. We heard as it hit the back support beam in the net.
And just for the coolest thing about that, just for a half second, it would have given the goalie hope. You're right, Chris. It was Rich Crow, not Ryan Selwood.
Just call me Eagle Eye.
Magic eye with these jerseys. 15:03 gone then in the second period. 10-1. The Solhull Barons have reached double figures. It's a little bit harsh on Graham Laverick. Blame it on me as the music played.
You gotta love a bit of George Ezra.
Meanwhile, here come the Blaze again. Jay McFadden tries to cut that one out, doesn't quite manage to. And the Barons can afford to have some fun now. They're
I think
10-1 up.
I think the Barons have been having fun for the past 10 minutes.
Jack Mackay now getting his first shift for the Barons on a youngster, and that one's put just wide. A beauty of a saucer pass. And I thought for a second that was 11-1.
I did as well. I saw net shuffle. I saw there was such a huge gap, a yawning chasm between the back post and Laverick's pad that I thought Mackay was going to get one. So I think you and I can both agree as players, when you miss a chance like that, you really do regret it.
It does eat away at you for a little while. But I think we can forgive the Barons that one.
Yeah.
I'd imagine their fans and Darren Bellaby on the bench will do so. Here's Phil Mackay though, still working hard, tries to find Maurice for the Blaze. Slater for the Barons. Whitehouse. And again, Simon Harrison has all the time in the world to cruise back into his own zone. Plays the puck to Rich Slater. Pulled down. John Stokes will go and fetch that puck. On the boards for Maurice. Again, just knocks that one on the boards. Very notable here, looking at the NIHL Blaze, that 4 of the 5 players where face KDT goes Matt Maurice incidentally, and he'll shoot and score! Matt Maurice with a great pass from Philip Mackay through his legs there after dispossessing the Solihull defenceman.
And I think to a degree there, the Barons' overconfidence was their undoing on that play, because Maurice just stripped the Barons' defence of the puck and just plays dipsy doodle and slots it home for his second of the game.
And that's a nice reward from Maurice and Mackay, the pair of them. They've worked very hard.
They've been the hardest workers on this Blaze team all evening.
Here come the Barons again with Otterson. Makes his way into the zone, squares it, poked away. Before the trailing Barons forward could get a shot off.
Good defensive work there by the Blaze, covering the back post.
Good awareness by Arthur Brooks there. He was charging through the zone, had to wait for his teammate Matt Maurice to leave the zone before he could enter to avoid being offside. Now Luke Smith gets himself into trouble and back out of it again. Brooks will play that along the boards.
And it's that will probably be roughing.
It will be roughing. I think the Baron there was unimpressed with the way Arthur Brooks collided with him.
Arthur Brooks with a rather over-exuberant check, I think. I think Arthur Brooks is quite lucky not to be going to the box himself there.
His arms did appear to come up there as he went in on the check.
But as you did say, this point, you're this many, you're 8 goals down, frustration is going to set in, and it's going to get chippy. Guys are going to start doing things to niggle at each other.
So Simon Harrison will go to the box for roughing, as you expected. He's tapping on the glass to show his disapproval over that far side. Here is Dale Buckland. Maurice. Mukai. Maurice again fires and scores! And that is Matt Maurice's hat-trick.
That is Matt Maurice's hat-trick, and we talked earlier about Barons players being given so much time on the puck. The Barons really did back off there and were giving the Blaze players so much time to move the puck around. That was
Joe
Josh
Henry as well with a little bit of a tap.
That was Josh Bruce being laid flat there.
Interesting that referee didn't call that from Joe Henry. Some referees would have called that a slash. Here is Flynn again. Now O'Flaherty. Ball's up in the corner. Can't find Mulcahy, and there's a break on here, 2-on-1. Tom Saw is at the back post. Here is Tom Saw, he'll fire, and Tom Saw will score. Textbook finish in there from the Solhull Barons.
Textbook cross-eyes pass and a textbook one-timer to finish it. What'll be worse for Laverick is he had that covered. He was on pace with the puck and just was that millisecond too slow.
Found the gap over Graham Laverick's pad from Tom Saw. Goes down on one knee in time-honoured fashion. But now, as Steve Barker said, the Coventry Blaze team manager, the Blaze are somewhat in damage limitation mode.
There's now some kind of a conflab going on with our referee and James Pease.
Dale Buckland as well is unsure quite as to what's gone on. Either way, 46-25, and it's 11 for Solhull. Tom Saw with his second. Nicholas Otterson with the assist. And now, once again, the Barons come forward with purpose, but there's a break the other way. Here is Stephen Heap. Battling hard, still Stephen Heap. Oh, and he goes up and over the top. Massive hip check there from Simon Harrison.
That was a huge heavy hitter, and that'll take the breath right out of Heap.
Now Harrison again will fire, it's still free. They're nightmares, those types of hits. Time seems to slow down. Harrison goes for another one there, it's dumped in this time. Time seems to slow down as you see the hit coming in. And then all you see is the roof of the arena. Here is Otterson. And again, and he'll finish. And that just was emphatic, almost, from the Solhull Barons. They're just working their way through.
Solhull Barons playing a game of tic-tac-toe passing there, just a tick, a tack and a toe and an applied finishing into the roof of the net.
And it's almost too easy for them now. You can see they're not really up in fifth gear. They are enjoying themselves. And just trying to put as emphatic a exclamation point on their ceiling of the league title as possible. It would take something very special indeed now for them not to become laid the conference champions this evening. Throw. It's head eaten from Nicholas Otterson. Tom Saw gets the second assist. Now space again, fired, oh my! That was a laser high into the roof of the net. Graham Laverick almost appeared to duck out of the way of that one.
And again, a mistake defensively by the Blaze, a lapse. Barons capitalise on it, and again, space to just settle on the puck and just fire it high. Damage limitation, I guess you could say, but the Blaze now bringing it over the blue line, and again, they're just like one of those rare moments of genius from Morris and Mulcahy.
Now the other way, that's gloved down there by Laverick. Not very confidently, but it did the job, and now there's a break the other way. Here goes Matt Maurice. Good hands from Maurice. Mulcahy fires a shot, saved. and will break the other way.
And as a forward, Mulcahy must be thinking, what do I have to do? He's hit everything but the back of the net this evening.
Has been very impressive, still stand out among the players in white and blue this evening. Space, driven, oh my! Both from the blue line. That was Stephen Crowe, I think they're wound up and fired. Had the exhortation from his fans to shoot. And now, once again, Dale Buckland will just settle behind his own net eventually. Works it free, Mulcahy. Faced by the Barons' top line of Perry Doyle and Ryan Selwood on defence.
And unfortunately for Mulcahy, as Buckland now brings it in over the blind, gives it to Mulcahy.
And Buckland's free in front of the net. If he can tip it home, he can't. Nor can Brooks. O'Flaherty will feed that back in, and the puck's just given away.
And I was going to say, Mulcahy needs to dig into his bag of tricks and find something new, because the Barons have worked out that little trip of skipping to the outside that he does.
And Joe Henry was a long way forward then. If the Barons could have found him, they didn't. Brooks will clear that one. Puck leaves the zone and it'll be played all the way back. And Matt Maurice is in on goal. Pulls out his tricks. It's just poked away though. Good, calm defensive play. Fired, and that one will stick through, Laverick. And it's 15.
And I believe that was Joe Henry.
Face-off is won by the Blaze. Less than 5 minutes remaining. Less than 5 minutes until we see the Solhull Barons officially crowned.
Perry Doyle just eclipsing Mulcahy behind the back of the net here.
And it's fed out in front again. Maurice nearly pulls it up. There's a 2-on-2 break now. And Notterson can't make the pass. Does well to stay on side. Break the other way. Mulcahy. Pass for Brooks. Brooks will fire and Brooks will score. And that's a nice reward for that line.
That is a very nice reward for that line, because they have been very hard working. They were very hard working there for the full duration of that power play. Dale Buckland interrupts Otterson's attempt to get a 2-on-2 breakaway at the other end, breaks up the play, brings it the other end, gets it across ice to Brooks, who just slams it home.
To look at the score a little.
Something that they've begun to pick up on, which they needed to, is now Otterson brings it back in over the blue line again.
And Otterson will lay that one off. For a tap in at the back post, it's cleared this time.
Is the Blaze have now began to get their sticks down and intercept these passes. For too long they've had their sticks off the ice and not intercepting Barons' passes from tape to tape.
Meanwhile, the Barons will work their way through. They're watching the clock tick down. This will be their 28th win in succession.
And their 51st win in succession as well. 28th on the season, 51st over 2 seasons.
Barons last beaten 2 seasons ago. Perry Doyle pulls up there. Pass instead made for Selwood. Work their way into the zone, fired high and wide. Jack Flynn will pick this one up.
And again, that'll be a shot Henry will be disappointed on himself with.
Oh, and that's a lovely, lovely finish. Edward Eaton, I think that was.
I believe it was. I'm not sure, it may have been Yannick, but again, Barons player left all alone in the crease, just has the time to pick up the loose puck.
So then, here again with Solhull Barons head coach Darren Bellaby. Darren, good professional job done tonight. Solhull Barons league champions.
Yeah, it says nice, doesn't it? Yeah, we won it last season here as well, so it was just the way it fell. If the whole game hadn't been rearranged for tomorrow, we would have won it at Solhull. We've never won the league at Solhull, but we're going to keep the celebrations low key, and then we'll be proper celebrating next Sunday at Solhull when we play Telford.
It was a tight first period, shall we say, 2-1. The Blaze came out hard, but that 8-goal explosion in the second period really seemed to kill the game off.
Yeah, we just took a bit of time to get going, that's all. 2-1 game. The kids worked hard. They got some good, talented young kids out there, and they didn't give our guys a lot of time on the puck, and we were making a few mistakes, but we got going in the second period. I say then 7-8 goals in the second period really did the game, so 2 points was all he was after.
Perry Doyle getting a rare goal as well. He looked like he enjoyed that one in the second.
He doesn't score a lot, but he likes to celebrate them. So, you know, all good to Pez there. He's big shot from the blue line. So, yeah, I'm pleased with Perry.
So league title sewn up then, couple of games then, and then on to the playoffs.
Well, we're still going to try and stay unbeaten. The boys want to stay unbeaten. They've got no intentions of losing. We've got a tricky road trip tomorrow at Hull. We've got 3 lines to go up there with a few players missing, but we've got enough to go up there and get a win. And then we've got a tough weekend next weekend against Telford. Hopefully 4 points and celebrations on Sunday at Solhull.
Another convincing victory for the Solhull Barons. This team's just unbeatable. How are they going to fare now that they move into the Moral League Conference?
I think they're going to hold themselves pretty well. I mean, they are really, really a tough team. They battle hard on the ice. Perry Doyle's just got such control of those players. They're getting the points, and they're quite rightly sitting at the top of the table. What more can you say?
Hopefully the Coventry Blaze can rebound from this and rebuild over the off-season and come back fighting.
Well, more so, I think Coventry need to try and keep hold of some of their players. You know, what you don't want to be seeing is you don't want to be coming up against them on the opposition.
That's certainly true. Join us next time on Drop the Puck when we've got a very exciting game. We've got the NIHL playoff finals coming up. Live from Solihull as well. Going to be a really good encounter, that.
Should be really, really great atmosphere. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be the pinnacle of the sport, the absolute best that the NIHL's got to offer. So make sure you join us for that. Until then, we'll catch you next time.